Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the Community Engagement Minor Information Night. My name is Hafsa, and I'll be one of the facilitators for this evening. So just for this evening, this is our agenda. We're going to start off with an overview of the Community Engagement Minor, specifically looking at the requirements, and then we're going to transition into the community engagement courses, followed up by introducing the instructors and their courses, as well as the student panelists, and finally our formal outro and the breakout rooms for question and answers. So just a quick overview. This minor allows students to deepen and expand their understanding of communities and develop their skills for principled and effective engagement. So just taking a quick look at the requirements here. The only requirement is CMTYENGA 2A03, which is the Foundations of Community Engagement course. And then after that, it's 21 additional units that can be done through course list A, B, or C. Course list A is specifically theory courses, with a minimum of 6 units of requirements. And then course list B is the skill development courses with a minimum of 3 units. And then finally, course list C, which is the community engagement project / capstone courses with a minimum of 3 units of requirement. So in regards to the requirements, so there's also 21 additional units from 2 or more faculties. There's no more than 6 units from level 1 courses. And if you are very interested on learning more about the requirements, you can definitely get more information from the academic calendar, which is linked in our presentation. And now in regards to the community engagement courses, I will be passing it along to Alyssa.
Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa. I'm another one of your facilitators. So the first course that we'll be talking about is the required course, so Community Engagement 2A03. So regardless of the degree, you want to participate in community activities and change. And this course allows you to look at community functions, politics, and processes involved in community participation. It also allows you to develop your skills, such as leadership, for effective and ethical community engagement. There's also our McMaster Children and Youth University. So that is community engagement to MC3 and to MD3. So to MC3 is design and creation. So it allows us to make ties between McMaster University and our community. And that's been done through McMaster's Children and Youth University, MCYU. And it allows us to create inquiry-based learning activities for youths aged 7 to 14 and their families in STEAM. So you'll be learning a lot about pedagogical design, principles of community engagement, art knowledge translation, and the communication from faculty and staff across the university. Following that, we have community engagement 2 MD3, so that's the community-based learning with MCYU. So this is not really a traditional course, and you'll have the opportunity to deliver content to youth audiences and working in teams, and allowing you to, again, develop those leadership skills and presentation skills, and to enhance knowledge translation abilities. And these opportunities come from firsthand experience with the MCYU workshop, and you'll learn how to responsibly engage with teachers, parents, youth, and other community members. Following up, we have community engagement 3A03, so that's the art of change. And this allows you to equip skills that are needed to support and lead change based on initiatives for a better world. You'll learn about theories of change, system thinking, organizational and structures, and facilitation techniques and tools used to support community change. These case studies are real-life change will ground these theories in a real-life context that helps students make changes happen and how to make change when tackling real-world issues. And lastly, we have the City Lab semester residence. So that's our community engagement 4A06 and 4A09. So 4A06 is design and dialogue inquiry. So this is an inquiry model which allows you to develop interdisciplinary capabilities in design thinking, dialogue, project management, and public communication, and allows students to co-create, test, and evaluate a project. We also have community engagement for A09, which is the applied project experience. This is an intensive workshop field trips and dialogue sessions, and you work in interdisciplinary teams to apply the theoretical knowledge and skills to develop and hone a real-life project that addresses a specific change in Hamilton.
And I will now be introducing the instructors who will go into talking about their courses. I'll introduce Dave Hydrich and Sandeep Raha.
All right, well, thanks, Hafsa. I'm Dave Heidebrecht. I'm privileged to be an instructor in a couple of the courses that we have in the Community Engagement Minor. And you can see me here in a photo out walking about in downtown Hamilton at the waterfront back in January. And what you can't see under my toque was I was listening, I had some earbuds in listening to a podcast that is part of our Art of Change course. So maybe I'll talk about that first and then dive into the City Lab semester. So as you've heard, the Art of Change course is a level 3 course focused on helping students to understand systems change and then think about how change happens at a community level. And there's a few pieces to that I just wanted to highlight as folks are thinking about what they might want to enroll in come winter 2023, I guess it would be. So the course includes a few things, as you've heard. So there's a community engagement component where we work with community partners in the Hamilton community on a project. And so that project this year has been focused on working with a group called the Just Recovery Hamilton Coalition, where we're working with a number of organizations that are seeking to advocate for how Hamilton can come out of the pandemic with a just recovery. And we're really focusing on housing this year. So we actually just had a dialogue the other day and had a lot of really good conversation with a number of different community organizations in Hamilton around what the city could maybe do better in relation to housing and the housing crisis that we're facing. And so that piece of the course has been built on the foundations of understanding of systems thinking and systems change that we've done in the early parts of the semester. So students learn about various theories of change. And then the really exciting piece that we built in to this virtual course is a podcast. So you saw the picture of me on the previous slide outside. And what we've done this past semester is developed a podcast that features the voices of leaders who are influencing change processes, both locally and beyond. And so students listen to a podcast on average once a week. And that really brings forward the lived experience of those leaders and their organizations and the work they're doing in community in a way that we then tie back to some of the theories that we're learning about. And the exciting piece about how that's played out this year is that a number of the guests that we had on the podcast have actually become partners over the course of the term, and we're now working with them on this housing focused change initiative. So it's a great course if you're interested in getting out of your disciplinary area of study, trying to understand how change works at a broader level and looking both at local and global change initiatives. And it's a good way to get your feet wet with learning how to plan and facilitate a dialogue with community partners without a deep investment in time. That being said, if you do want to invest a significant amount of time and want a really fun learning experience, the City Lab Hamilton semester in residence is just the thing for you. So this is a 15-unit semester. You heard about 4A06 and 4A09. And those two courses are combined into a 15-unit semester that runs each fall. The photo here on the left is students from our 2021 fall semester, where we were really happy to get back out in person. This is from a ride along we did where we learned about research that's being done in the city around cycling safety, and we biked along various routes in Hamilton, in downtown, learned from researchers who are doing work on the ground about cycling safety, and then came back online in a hybrid approach to have a dialogue with various partners from the city and other organizations to talk about how we can improve cycling in the city. That's just one example of the types of experiential opportunities you'll have in this course. Again, it's focused on design. So you get to explore the city and go to different parts of the city and understand things like how the waterfront is being developed, what it means to have a new stadium built in the middle of a residential area and have more investment come into that area, what it will look like for the city to have a new light rail transit line implemented over 14 kilometers of our downtown, and what those changes might mean both to specific neighborhoods, but also to the city as a whole. Think about our relationship with nature in Hamilton. We're very close pretty much anywhere you are to either the escarpment or the waterfront. And so there's a lot of experiences that way that we then combine with learning around dialogue, and how do you think about and plan for dialogue and conversation? What's the importance of conversation and relationship building when we get into community engaged work? And when we then combine the design and dialogue aspects of the course, students are put into interdisciplinary teams and they work on projects directly with city staff and community partners. And that's where I come in more directly in the semester, is that I serve as the project instructor. So I teach more directly on project management. How do you scope a project? How do you understand the needs of your partners? How do you develop a project agreement? How do you set agendas? All those fun things that can help move a project from point A to point B to point C and beyond. And a few examples of what those projects have looked like in the past year include a group of students, and I think you'll hear from one of them tonight, from Malika, who worked on developing recommendations for what green development standards could look like in the city of Hamilton. So when we're developing and building new buildings, how can we respond to the realities of our climate crisis in developing those standards? But also, how can we bring an equity, diversity, inclusion perspective to that? As we think about those who are going to be impacted by climate change, we're all going to be impacted and are being impacted by climate change, but in most cases, marginalized groups are the ones who are being more directly impacted. So Malika and her teammates worked with Environment Hamilton and pulled together city staff and other community groups to have a dialogue on what green development standards could look like, and help to really develop some really great advocacy tools and ideas on how that work could be implemented going forward. One other example is another student you'll hear from tonight, Amandeep, worked with a group of students and the Hamilton Community Benefits Network on what it would mean to develop community benefits that can come out of the Hamilton Light Rail Transit project. So they worked with the community partners to say, how can we pull together a dialogue that tests out a method of information gathering so that that organization can continue to gather ideas from residents throughout the Hamilton community on what they'd like to see as a result of the Hamilton LRT project. Would they like to see affordable housing? Would they like to see community art at various stations? Would they like to see jobs for local residents come out of the construction project of this multi-billion-dollar project? And they also developed recommendations for a survey that's actually currently being used by the Community Benefits Network to gather information that the Benefits Network will bring to the City of Hamilton to inform a community benefits agreement with the Benefits Network and others in the City of Hamilton in the coming months and years. And so both those examples of projects are the types of projects you might come into if you enjoy and join the semester in residence. It's really a great way to get hands-on learning, to get out into the real world, and to do a project that you can ultimately hopefully see some impact in both short-term and long-term. So again, the semester is a great experience. It's an investment in time and energy, but as I hope you'll hear tonight and in other spaces, well worth it in terms of the learning experience, the friendships you develop, and I think a very different approach to learning than you might be used to in some of your regular classes. So I might leave it at that. I'm happy to answer any questions as we head into the breakouts. And if anyone has other questions beyond this, please do feel free to reach out, and happy to answer those as you think about what you might be doing this coming fall and winter.
Thanks for also for giving me the opportunity to share some of the courses that are involved as part of the MCYE or McMaster Children and Youth University program. My name is Sandeep Raha. I'm a associate professor in the Department of Pediatrics, but I've been working with Dave and other members of the Community Engagement Office for a number of years in delivering these programs. And over the last 2 years, they've been turned into, or actually the last 3 years, they've been turned into community engagement courses, 2 MC3 and 2 MD3, which you heard about just before this. So if we could go to the next slide. So I want to sort of contextualize these courses because they're a little bit different from some of the other courses that you may find on campus. So these 2 courses were actually born out of a volunteer program that was fundamental to the McMaster Children and Youth University program, which is really focused on engaging youth and their parents, so family-based learning for grades 4 to 8. Over the years, this program has developed from having on-campus lectures where we have faculty come and talk to us, talk to the families, to delivering workshops in the community. And these are highly interactive workshops delivered in schools and after-school programs, public libraries that are all family targeted. And also especially over the pandemic, we've developed the digital arm, and we create digital resources and interactive ebooks, as we call them, for teachers to use and for students to access. And together, all of these experiences for families and their kids form the McMaster Children and Youth University program with a central logo: question, discover, create. And this is really, our program is really about teaching kids how to ask questions about their environment, discover their potential, and then create solutions to the kinds of challenges they see, and create a brighter world. So in doing that, we have some very specific roles for McMaster students. And so the students that deliver this programming, we call facilitators. And our 2 MC3 and 2 DM3 are both designed to prepare you to become facilitators. So if we go to the next slide, one of the most common questions that I get asked is, so other than getting a credit, what am I going to get out of participating in these courses? And these courses are very focused on mentoring, communication skills, and we mentor that through our interactions with our target audience, which is kids in grades 4 to 8. And you possibly couldn't have a harsher audience to learn from. And so this course basically teaches you how to, so this is specifically the 2 MC3 course now. This course teaches you how to organize a lesson plan, how to develop a communication strategy, how to promote your material that you're going to be teaching to kids, how to understand and identify goals for your target audience. The biggest is how do you increase engagement in an inquiry-based fashion. And so in doing that, we provide a number of skills. We provide skills on how to engage and carry out a conversation with kids. How do you convey information through storytelling? How do you carry yourself and present yourself? And we have a session in improv and theater in order to be able to teach that. We teach you the philosophy of asking questions. Students quite often feel very uncomfortable about asking open-ended questions, but that's where you get the most engagement from kids, is if you let them answer. So how do you stimulate that kind of conversation? And these are really important skills, not just for specific occupations like teaching, but if you're going out into the world and looking at any type of corporate leadership positions, these kinds of transferable skills are always rated very highly amongst what employers are looking for. So we go to the next slide. Yeah, I think that's basically what I wanted to talk about. The 2MC3 is a, yeah, we can go back one slide maybe. Yeah, the 2MC3 is a fall course. It's designed to be the training for 2DM3, which is usually in the winter term, and it's all deployment. So the idea is you form teams in 2MC3 and you create interactive workshops on a variety of different topics. We have topics like diabetes. We've had topics like how to become leaders. We've had topics about how do you structure a community? What kinds of resources do you need in a community? Our teams are always multidisciplinary. We try to put students from different faculties together to work together to create interactive programming. So one example is our workshop on how to build a community. Our facilitators designed a board game, much like Monopoly, so that the kids could ask questions and calculate what kind of value resources in the community had. And this is the kind of interactivity that you'll be pushed to create. And that gets all moved forward into the 2DM3. We do permit students without, we do allow students with instructor permission to take DM3, and that is based on whether you've had some of the other community engagement courses, but it's always easier for students if they're coming from the CM3 to the DM3. And again, these courses are very much targeted to youth and working with youth. And if you have any questions, I too am available, as Dave said. You feel free to reach out and contact me. But you can also visit our website, which is mcmaster.mcyu.ca. And you can get more information about these courses, and you can see some of the facilitator quotes of the kinds of experiences they've had on the website. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dave and Cynthia, both for your insight and experience. Now I will be introducing our student panelists. So I would like to first introduce Rachel Carson, who will be talking in regards to the Art of Change and Community Engagement minor, and then Alyssa Georgescu, who will be talking about the Community Engagement minor, as well as Amandeep Tiani, who's talking about the City Lab semester in residence, as well as Malika Al-Nagahi, who will be talking about the City Lab semester in residence.
Okay, great. So hi, everyone. My name is Rachel, and I am a fourth-year life sciences student, and I'm pursuing the minor in community engagement. And I'm also currently taking the Art of Change course this semester. So just to start off, I decided to pursue a minor in community engagement because I've always been passionate about supporting my community, but I never really knew how to go about it or what it meant to have community partnerships. I also believe that no matter what discipline you're in, community engagement will always be applicable. In pretty much every career you find yourself in, there's some sort of community that surrounds you. And then lastly, as a science student, I thought it's a great opportunity to work with students from other disciplines, to learn other perspectives, meet new people, and obviously the coursework is very different from science courses, so it gave me some nice variety in my degree, which I found really engaging. And then, as I mentioned, I am also currently taking the Art of Change course, which Dave talked a little bit about already. I've really enjoyed the course so far because it encourages you to take the theories that you learn in class and courses that I've taken in the past and then apply it to real world problems. As Dave mentioned, this semester we partnered with the Just Recovery Hamilton Coalition to tackle issues regarding housing in Hamilton. And so all semester we've been working towards a community dialogue that the class actually got to plan, facilitate, and participate in with our community partners. And so while the whole class was targeting the housing crisis in general, throughout the semester we were broken into smaller groups, and each group got to tackle a different aspect of this issue. So my group specifically is focusing on intensification and affordability, and we've been working closely with Environment Hamilton to brainstorm some ideas surrounding affordable housing and building in areas within the urban boundary. In courses that I've taken in the past, we've had, community partner projects where it's more hypothetical. You're given a hypothetical community partner and you kind of have to create a deliverable for them, what you think they would need. But what I like about this course is you actually get to work with the community partners and collaborate with them. And you get to learn from people that are actually in the fields dealing with these topics. And this topic isn't something that I would know how to get involved in without this course. So I thought it was really interesting and really engaging for me. So yeah, that's just a little bit about why I'm pursuing the minor and a little bit about the art of change. I'll pass it off to Alyssa to talk about the minor a bit more.
Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa. I'm in my second year of psychology, neuroscience, and behavior at McMaster. Much like Rachel, I was really interested in getting involved in the community, but not really understanding how I can go about it and how I can actually be involved. So I actually took community engagement to AO3 without the preconception of wanting to do a minor in community engagement, but then I fell in love with the course outline and actually planning community dialogues and learning how exactly to go about planning such big community projects. So I decided to pursue the minor, and just for me specifically, it was nice to branch out from the science-based learning and more into different faculties. So learning about innovation, learning about social justice, learning about social work. It was something different that I haven't experienced yet, and was able to do it through the community engagement minor. Because it is my second year, I have not taken as many courses as Rachel so far, but I'm very excited to get my hands into some of these community engagement courses myself, but also into some different faculty courses as well. And I know that in the long run, it will help me, develop my transferable skills into the workforce and be able to apply them to whatever I start my next journey on. And I'm super excited and thankful. So I'll pass it on to Amandeep now.
Thanks, Alyssa. Hi, I'm Amandeep. I'm a fourth-year student in the BHSC program at McMaster. I took the City Lab Semester in Residence course in fall 2021. And as Dave mentioned earlier, City Lab gives you the opportunity to take on and get involved with real-world projects. So my project focused on public engagement with local Hamiltonians regarding the Hamilton LRT project and asking residents what they'd like to see from the project in terms of additional social or environmental benefits like affordable housing. I would say, like a lot of other students, City Lab was one of the best experiences of undergrad. I became a lot more clear, I think, on the issues that I care about in the community and want to invest a lot more time in moving forward. And overall, I feel that I walked away more empowered in initiating change. I learned a lot about how to build and leverage relationships in the community to create change, and also how to effectively engage and involve different stakeholders in creating change. I would say something really important is that often there's strength in numbers, and working with other people can often help you achieve goals that in community engagement and change making that otherwise would have been much more difficult to do on your own. And engagement with others is certainly really important. And I think that the course gives you the skills to do that effectively. And finally, I would add that the course really encourages you to think about issues from different perspectives and encourages you to challenge existing notions you have on different issues in your community and the best ways to approach them or solve them, which only gives you a better understanding and prepares you to create change. So overall, I'd say it was a really great experience, and I'll pass it on to Malika to speak a bit more about City Lab.
Hi everyone, my name is Malika. I'm a fourth year biology student. And also completing a certificate in applied ethics and policy. And I also did the semester in residence in fall 2021. And the reason I decided to do semester in residence is because as a science student, I wasn't getting a lot of hands-on experience with the community. I wasn't learning about a lot of the social issues that I was really passionate about outside of school. So I really wanted to have an opportunity to actually engage with the Hamilton community, learn more about the specific issues that Hamiltonians face, and learn more about how I can directly help support the communities in need. And as Dave mentioned previously, I worked with Environment Hamilton, and that involved looking at how to in advance, set up policies that will ensure that Hamilton is built sustainably, but is also built with the marginalized groups in mind that will be most impacted by climate change. And so City Lab really gave me an amazing opportunity to actually engage with a lot of the people who are working on such policies, working with people in the city and different city planners. But it also allowed me to engage directly with the community, such as through Environment Hamilton and other sustainability groups. So it really allows you to utilize your stance as a student to kind of bring together different groups. And I gained a lot of key skills through this, learning how to hold different meetings, taking meeting notes, sending out agendas, and really learning to step up in a room and speak my mind, which is something I had previously had difficulty with. So I think through City Lab, I really grew as an individual in my work skills, in my public speaking skills. Group work skills was really key as well. But I also was able to find out what I'm more passionate about, and I learned that was wanting to engage with the community more and wanting to support marginalized communities. So the experience was definitely, as Amandeep said, one of the best experiences of my university undergraduate, and I 100% recommend it to anyone else going forward. I think it's an experiential it's an experiential opportunity that you don't usually get in university, and it's so unique in that sense. And I think it's something that everyone can come out of having learned something new.
Thank you to all of our student panelists for joining us and talking about their experience. This is now towards the end of our information night. It was great to virtually see you all. If you don't have any questions, you're more than welcome to go. Otherwise, we'll be opening up the breakout rooms now. So in breakout